And you're very welcome back. And that was Elton John taking us back to the 70s with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and Hello Hello Yellow Brick Road as well, because the Letterkenny Panto are staging The Wizard of Oz very shortly. And in the studio I have got Adele Evans and Tina Gary. Ladies, you're very welcome.
Hey, Jean.
Thanks for having us, Jean.
So, Tina, you are a long time now associated with the Panto here in Letterkenny, and as I said, you never get tired of it. It's just all the rehearsals and all the planning and all the acting. You obviously enjoy it.
Yeah, I've been about for a wee while. I think you and I were in one in 2005 or 2006 together, which is, I think, the only time we've ever shared a stage. We've shared a studio, but never a stage, just that one time. So yeah, it is. It's a real labour of love. And it passes the winter, and it's great crack, and you get to work with some fantastic people, and it is fun, you know.
And you're on the committee as well as on the stage, so I'm sure there's an awful lot of organising. It just doesn't all happen this week in January.
Yes, and that's a bit less fun. So I'm chair of the committee for the past few years, and I coordinate their PR and their social media and marketing, and look after a few bits with the theatre and online and the media, and I really love that side of it as well, and it's kind of ferreting away on your own. But it's a really enjoyable part of the work as well, and you get to kind of build something and then see its success whenever you get to show a week.
And I have to compliment you on your social media, because you have all the cast there and their background and what they've been involved in, and it really does help when people are on Facebook and they see this, that it brings the information about the Panto for weeks and weeks before it actually happens.
Well, it's a very cost-effective way of marketing it. So I look after the Instagram and the Facebook, but I have to say Adele has taken us into the 21st century because she does all of our TikTok work. So we're across all platforms, but Adele's just better at editing than some of us are. So it's great to kind of try and engage younger audience members now and try and reach out through different platforms. And we're so glad of the work that Adele does for that.
So, and Adele, TikTok is something that I haven't got into yet myself, but you've been in the Panto for a number of years, and I actually saw you at the 25th anniversary concert in the Green On, and it sort of took me a little minute to recognise you because you didn't have all your gear on you.
Thank God.
No, I look a little bit different now this evening than I did on stage. This is my fourth Panto. So I actually started off 4 years ago. I decided to audition because my daughters were involved in the dance chorus and the children's scene, and I thought this might be a really cool way of doing something fun with them that, you know, they can look at back in years to come. So that's kind of how I fell into it. I went along one night. It was the third night of auditions, and I got a part, me and a friend of mine, and that's kind of how it began. So last year then I wasn't actually going to audition because I was so busy, and I was at home on the night of auditions and I got massive FOMO. I thought, I don't know. So I jumped up off the sofa 5 minutes after the audition started, and I popped in and I played the Dame last year, which I loved. I don't know if anything will ever top that, but I'm excited for this year now. It's another completely different part. So
I was just going to say, is it comedy this year, your part again?
Well, that's the thing, Jean. I can't actually tell you about my part.
Okay.
It's a surprise. Top secret, but a little bit of a clue maybe is I'm very involved in politics and I'm quite famous.
Okay.
So,
you're not Dorothy and you're not the Tin Man. And you're not
no.
Okay.
And there's myself and another couple of characters that are going to really bring the fun factor, and people will be surprised to see them lost on the yellow brick road.
They're being seen in a way that they have never been seen before. I mean, it's certainly a departure from Widow Twanky for you. We have Brie Carr involved as well. Definitely Brie Carr, she's not been seen before. So we're utilising our amazing cast in a very different way. Just maybe a wee bit of a twist in terms of what characters you might expect to meet on the yellow brick road.
That's what I was just going to say to you. Like, everybody's familiar with the story and the ruby slippers and the Tin Man and the Lion and the Straw Man.
They're all there.
They're all there, but there's a local element, I'm sure, like all other pantos.
There's a local element and there's an international element as well, because we have some people who are turning up as superstars, global icons and superstars, and Adele is one of those. So she's really getting rid of her widow twanky garb. You know, the washer coat and all of the laundry line is gone. So we're going to be seeing some of our regular cast members and some very old cast members who were with us a long time ago return, but in a very reimagined way.
Okay.
So it's very exciting.
that sounds really
That's as much as
exciting,
we can say. Patrick Doherty has sworn us
Yeah.
to secrecy, and Paul has said we'll be in lots of trouble if we give too much away this evening.
Okay. And it's a keep it in the family. Like Patrick's directed for years, but Paul, I believe his son now is director this year.
Paul is the lead director, and his creative vision for the show has been really unparalleled. I mean, he has attention to detail is meticulous.
Yeah.
His planning is meticulous. There's an awful lot of technological innovation this year in terms of not only the type of backdrops, but the use of green screen and things like that. So Patrick is still with us and still very much at the helm, but he's taken an assistant director role this year and full of ideas, full of jokes, full of musical number suggestions. But Paul has just added a very, very modern twist. So it's a bigger show than last year. The backdrops are certainly more spectacular. The costumes are definitely much more engaging. So we, after the whole COVID gap that we'd taken and the break that we'd taken, we were a bit reticent and nervous coming back last year. It had been 4 years since people had seen a panto. There was a generation of children who hadn't been to one, and we kind of approached last year's show with a bit of nervous trepidation. Will people still want us? Will people still want us back? So we were delighted with the success of Aladdin last year. So we have really thrown everything and the kitchen sink at this year's show, because we feel that we really need to up our game. There's an awful lot of competition within the county, and we were just really keen to make this as spectacular a show as possible. We have Katrina McNamee from Convoy back as choreographer. She was fantastic last year. We have Paul Ward back as MD. So we are really going for it for the 9 shows, Jean, I have to say.
And I was just looking at some of the cast on the Facebook social media, and there's some, as I say, veterans there, but there's some new faces as well. And it's great to get new blood into the cast.
I think that's really important. You never know who is going to turn up at the audition process, and we had a number of auditions this year. There are 14, 15 main cast parts.
It's a much bigger cast this year than last year.
And you never know who's going to turn up, and we always welcome new members, and we were delighted to see new members arrive this year and last year. And some people come and they stay for a long time, and some people come and they go on to other things, and then they may return to us again, and that's just the nature of amateur dramatics. But we're delighted to welcome new members this year. We've Kitty Pereira with us this year, a Californian girl who's just an amazing natural actress who has done really well. We have Shauna McDonald with us this year, who we had kind of crossed paths with before at a karaoke competition last year. But she has just the most amazing belt. I mean, we thought Adele's belt was.
People are gonna be really pleasantly surprised. They're gonna I get really excited when I hear her perform.
Her voice is gorgeous. It's just spectacular. It really is. So it's great to see new people come on board, and then you have people come back. Myself, Mark, Karina, Chloe Borland is back as well, and then Brie Carr has returned after quite an absence.
And Dahi's there,
and Kieran and Louise, Gary. Well,
and Rosemary. We have Rosemary.
Rosemary Gilday is back as well. Yeah. Gary Cole's just part of the furniture.
And of course, one of the things that people associate with the Wizard of Oz is that beautiful song "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" and Dorothy. So who's playing Dorothy?
So she is also a panto debutante. So we have Glenvar's Ciara Herity joining this year, and she has the most beautiful, sweet, melodic voice. But wait till you see her in costume. She is born to wear
Dorothy,
the ruby slippers.
I saw a snippet of it on Facebook where she clicks her heels and she goes from her ordinary rehearsal gear to Dorothy, and she looks amazing, I have to say.
Born to wear the blue gingham dress. She was made to play the part of Dorothy, and she has been fantastic to work with.
She's really, really enjoying it. She's really enthusiastic and excited, and as is everybody. rehearsals. We were rehearsing all day today, and I think everybody were just so excited now. We cannot wait now just to get the show on the road.
And of course, you couldn't have a panto without the children's chorus. And if it's like any other year, there'll be maybe 100 or more around.
Yeah, I think there was approximately 109 for rehearsals last week, and again, same as before, Donna's going to split them into 2 groups.
Yeah, God bless Donna Ponsonby for her energy and her
Patience.
enthusiasm, but she manages to just coordinate that, and it doesn't take a fizz out of her. It just makes it all so easy. But they'll arrive now for dress rehearsal on Friday night, and it'll just slot seamlessly in, and she has everyone perfectly put through their paces, and they'll know their little songs. But she just manages it so perfectly every year. She really does. It's a particular highlight of the show, and I think it's important part of Letterkenny legacy of the panto as well, that the kids scene is in it. Were you in the kids scene as a child? Were you?
No, I was never in it, but all my children. I have 4 daughters. One, she hasn't got to that stage yet, but they've all been part of it, and that makes it really lovely for me. I really enjoy that kind of factor of the panto, how it's so family orientated, and everybody in the family can get involved, but also everyone in the family can go to watch it and enjoy it, because everybody gets something from it.
And you see people who have started off with the kids scene and maybe gone into the teenage chorus, and maybe then join the cast, and we have people who have gone through that process, and now maybe they're directing something themselves, or they're in shows somewhere else, and it's just it's a lovely way of kind of growing up with amateur dramatics in the town as well.
And I suppose, like for every show, there's the unsung heroes, the backstage crew that get everything organised, making sure the props are there and everything. So you've the regulars backstage as well, Tina.
We have a big committee, an even bigger committee this year, a very enthusiastic group of volunteers who are so generous with their time and their energy between painting or sorting costumes. We've Joan and Jackie looking after costumes. We've Kaz and Katie Doherty who've done an awful lot of technical work for us. We have Mark Mills working on props. We have Pat McFadden liaising with clubs and societies. And Chloe Borland and her mother Bernadette, who have been helping out with admin and with some social media and with painting as well. So, and then we have our safeguarding officer Emma Carr. There is a big group of people, and it takes a village. It really does. It is a massive production. There's a live band. There's 9 shows. There's the coordination of the kids scenes. There's an awful lot of people there, and then you have your treasurer, and that's Lisa Doherty, and obviously Jahi's involved in health and safety and on stage. So you have maybe whole families that are doing bits and pieces as well. So it's a 6 months in the making show. But thank God for our committee. They do so much, and they are the unsung heroes. No one sees them on stage. Most of them wouldn't want to be seen on stage. It's kind of it's a struggle to try and get them to come on at the end for the bow. But it's on the shoulders of giants that we are all standing, because Letterkenny has a proud tradition of very strong committees who have kind of brought the panto throughout the past 3 or 4 decades, and it's because of the the Clement Harveys and the Margot Butlers and the Danny Murrays and the Paddy Gallaghers and the Paddy O'Connors, and it's people who have contributed so much for so long for that we're just trying to build on their success and to pay tribute to the work that they would
and
have
of course,
done.
as you were saying, it's a community event, and a lot of communities and a lot of societies are benefiting from the panto. So you have a number of shows that are I saw the Letterkenny Rovers, and I saw Drummohon National School Sculliwarg, and so on. So they have a night where they sell the tickets, and they get the money then for that.
So out of 9 shows, we have 3 matinees, but the 6 evening shows are hosted by a school or by a football club for the most part this year. And what happens is we give our profits back to those 6 host clubs. So we have Letterkenny Rovers, Bonagee, United FC, we have Drummohon FC, we have Sculliwarg and Small, we have Letterkenny Community Childcare Group, and then on the Wednesday night we have a Milford amalgamation, which is Sculliwarg and Small and Milford Parish fundraising with Father Stephen Gorman, who's involved in that. So they're the people who benefit from the profits that we make. So a ticket for the panto is a ticket to support your local community, because we have enough money to pay our bills, but those 6 organisations, because they host the night with us, the money goes back into the community to support them, and that's really important as well. That's always our focus. We aren't about profit. We're not about funding our next show. We give it all away and then we start again. But we're very lucky that we're very well sponsored by the community, including, people Donegal County Council, Letterkenny Credit Union. The local businesses are very generous. Local politicians are very generous to us as well, because we hunt them down.
You know
we're
where they
very,
live.
we're very persuasive. Some people love to see us coming,
Yeah.
but it's important that everyone in the Panto knows that that's part of our ethos as well, that it's about giving back to the local community. So, we have a brilliant week out of it.
Yeah.
We make brilliant memories. We have great fun. We have a great winter, but ultimately it's about giving back to the community, whether you're there as a volunteer or whether you're fundraising to help your local community out. And I think as a Letterkenny person, that's something that's really, really important.
Yes, indeed. And it all kicks off 9 shows and starts on
Saturday.
this Saturday.
Yeah,
This
we
Saturday.
we open with our matinee on Saturday at 1:30, and then we have our evening show, and we have another matinee on Sunday. We take a break on Monday and Tuesday, and then we run right through till Saturday again with another matinee on the following Saturday. So there's loads. It's great. We've 3 matinees this year. It's great.
This day week we'll be
Yeah.
getting ready to go on stage for our fourth show of next weekend. So
Yeah.
2 next Saturday, 2 next Sunday, and then Wednesday through to Saturday and 2 on the Saturday.
And of course, tickets can be got at the Greenon or the societies as well.
The local hosts as well. Yeah.
Well, the best of luck and hope to get down
Thank
to see
you.
that. And this is, if it's like any other, you have to be incognito, because if Patrick Doherty, somebody spots you in the foyer, you're done for.
Don't worry, we'll find you.
Many thanks.